In this video, we'll try to learn how do we make a classical wooden railing in Revit. So first of all, let's start with making a railing, a simple rail. We'll do the sketch, all right? We'll do a sample rail with the 900 type, all right? A simple rail shape. Now once we are done, we'll click on OK. In the 3D view, and now we can see the railing which we have created. Zoom into this, and let's see the parts of the railing. This top part is called top rail. The vertical are balusters, and so the balusters which are at the start, at the corner, and at the end of the railing are called post. We'll try to change the shape of the top rail. So for that, we'll have to click on the railing, okay, and we'll have to click on edit type. So here it says in the section of the edit type properties, we see use top rail. So if we uncheck this and apply, it says cannot create railings. The reason being the balusters are hosted on the rail. So we'll have to cancel this. And how do we know that the balusters are hosted on the rail? If we click on the baluster placement, edit, we see the balusters are hosted by the top rail element. So that's the reason we cannot edit the top rail. For now, we'll click on cancel. Let us check what is type in the top rail. So if we click on the type, it says 50 into 50 rectangular. If we click on this, okay, it's it opens up another type properties for the top rail type. And in this, we have got different types of top rails. So top rails being circular, 40 by 30 elliptical, and 50 by 50 rectangular. So these are merely the types which have been created by default in the template. If we need, we can create another type. What's the distinguishing factor in this railing or rail top rail type is the profile. So if we click on the profile parameter, we'll see different kind of profiles here. So basically, these are the profile families. So for instance, if I want to create a profile which is C channel, so what I'll have to do is I'll have to duplicate this and I'll call this C channel top rail. And what I'll do is I'll just change this to C channel and then click on apply and click on OK. So here we have got the C channel. We'll click on apply. You see the top rail has been changed to the C channel. Check the other parameters which we do have in the type rail properties. Let's click on this, edit type, these three dots, and thereby we have different kinds of parameters here. Let's first of all explore what is default join. So basically it is the junction wherein the two rails join. So this junction is miter join. So if I change this miter to fillet and change the radius of the fillet to 100, we'll see that this has been rounded as opposed to the miter joint, which was diagonally cutting. Let's go back to miter again. So this is what default join is. Now let's check what hand clearance means. Hand clearance is the distance of the top rail from the rail sketch. All right. So if we change the hand clearance to 0, we'll see that the top rail will move. Let's change it to positive 100. You see, the rail has been moved. If we put it to -100, it will move into the other direction. We'll illustrate the other parameters with another example. See, how do we fix this kind of problems when we are doing railings on the staircase? These problems mainly arises when there are height differences and when there is a complexity, like there are multiple landings in a staircase. So railings are not able to adjust the height. So they are not able to meet. In order to adjust these problems, what we'll have to do is we'll have to click on the railing. We'll have to click on edit type. And if you click on the type properties of the top rail, you will see that there is transition. So transition is now set to simple. Now if we change it to gooseneck, it will happen like this. But this is not appropriate. Kind of difficult to implement in reality. What if I want to keep the transition to simple, but I also want to solve that problem? So in that case, what I'll do is I'll just change the transition to simple. And what I'll do is apply. Okay. We'll have to do some heighting adjustment, like adjustment to the railing. So we'll click on the railing, click on edit path. If we see the path from the top, we see the rail is actually been created into segments. Okay. So this segment and that segment, like if it is coming on the run, there is another segment for the run. If it comes on the landing, there is another segment. So segmentally, it has been divided. Now, if we click on these two segments, okay, so these two segments has to be adjusted. So first of all, we'll start with this, and here you see the options bar, height correction. We'll set it to custom, and we'll give it 200 raise. Same for this, and then click on OK. You see, this looks a lot more viable. If I want to fillet these corners, so simply I'll press tab key to select the top rail. So I'll tap select the top rail, edit type, and from here I can change the default joint from miter to fillet with the radius of 40. It says cannot create the continuous rail geometry, meaning that 40 fillet radius won't work here. We'll have to increase the fillet radius so that it is more than the radius of the profile. We'll make it 70 and check. Yes, now it looks okay, but this is going a little bit off. Let's make it 60. No, 50. No, we'll have to change the hand clearance. Let's look at it like this. And might be we'll have to remove the corner post. Okay. So for doing so, we'll click on this rail, edit type. And now for the rail structure, what we'll do is we'll click on the baluster placement. Okay. So we'll click on baluster placement edit. So here we see there is a dialog box called edit baluster placement. Here we see post. Since we already know what posts are, what we'll do is remove the corner post. Since this is a corner post, so we'll remove it. Or else we'll have to add an offset to it. So I'll remove it. I'll set it to none. Click on OK. Apply. So you see corner post has been removed. What else? What we can do is we can add a corner post again. baluster around 25 mm, and I'll set the top is already set to the top rail element. So what I'll do is, let's set the spacing here. It's set to 0. Let's add it first of all, and let's look at it from top. All right, and we see there is a slight off here as well as here. So we'll try to click on edit type, make some adjustments here. So we'll click on edit baluster placements, and we'll change this to 12, 12, 25. What's changing here? Let's see. Okay, this is only change, but we'll have to click on apply 2 times. So it seems that we'll have to apply a negative space value. So we'll have to click on baluster placement edit. We'll have to make it minus 12 or minus 15. Apply, okay. Yeah, kind of close, but still little more adjustment can be done. So let's make it a little bit like 20 for the space. We'll make it minus 20 or minus 18. It's fine. Yes. And there is also a parameter called offset. Let's see what it is. So we'll change the offset to. So for changing the offset, what we'll do is we'll go to edit baluster placement, change the offset. Let's see. Let's make it 50. You see, all the rails have been deranged. It has been deranged here and there. That's not what we need. Let's go back. Uh, let's make it 0. Now it feels okay to me. And you can change the other aspect of the rails, such as the top rails. We are yet to look at the profiles. We'll look at it in the next slide. Example, we are gonna create a railing which will be mounted on the wall with the supports. So let's get started. So we'll click on the railing drop down, place on stair or ramp. We'll click on this. By default, the railing will come. We'll click on this one. We'll remove this. We'll click on this and we'll duplicate. Okay, we'll click on edit type. We'll duplicate. We'll say wall support, wall rail. That's it. Now what we'll do is, first of all, we'll remove the balusters. So we'll click on baluster placement. We'll click, uncheck this, use balusters on stair so that the balusters will get removed. Let's check that out. Okay, the balusters have been removed a little bit. Now let's create the other remaining ones. Let's remove the other remaining ones. So now let's set this to none. Let's set the other corner posts to none. Apply, okay. Now we are left with the top rail. We'll click on the top rail, edit type. Now see, the top rail cannot be used for the support. It cannot hold the supports. Okay. How do we know that? Click on the edit type. We see that there is nothing called supports here. There are no parameters which can be used for adding the supports. So for that, we'll have to use handrail. So in the handrail, we'll click on type, and near none, we have got these 3 dots. We'll click on these 3 dots, and thereafter we click on OK, apply, and OK. Let's check. OK. One thing, why it is not visible? Because we haven't set the position. Let's set it to left. Okay, now it has come. Now it's the time for us to remove the top rail. So we'll discard it. We'll click on the railing again, edit type, and we'll uncheck to use top rail, apply. All right. And thereafter, we can see the supports here. Edit type and top rail and these three dots again. Okay. And you see all the parameters which we saw on the top rail, like miter, like transitions and hand clearance and every all the parameters are there. But along with that, we also have got supports. So for the supports, Revit is using the family. So this means that you can use another kind of support if you want, right? And now if you want to change the spacing of the supports, like if I want to place the supports every 3 feet or 900, you see that supports has been added every 3 feet, right? So this is how we make a handrail. Now apart from that, uh, that is like this is like there should be a kind of termination, right? So we'll check this in the later slide. As discussed in the previous video, we cannot leave the ends of the railings open like this. So there has to be some kind of extension to use, right? So for that, we'll have to click on the railing, click on edit type, and once you scroll down to the type properties of the handrail, that is pipe wall mount, you will see extension at the beginning, bottom, and end, that is the top. So if we use the extension style, okay, it says wall. So if I use wall, I have to get some kind of extension here. So if I like say the extension of 6 inches, 150, and apply, you see there there is an extension which connects this like this. So there is a wall extension, or might be you can also use floor. So you can use it as a floor. Okay, apply. Okay, this is the floor extension. Uh, let's change it again. The post. Let's see what post is. This post. Thing is, we'll have to remove this particular support from here. So we'll use floor. It seems the best to me. And I'll remove the support. For the end, for the end extension, let's stick to the wall at 50 mm. Yes. You see at the end also there is this kind of wall support, wall extension. So let's try to remove the support. Let's press the tab key. So once you press the tab key, the support will get selected. You can unlock this and you can delete this. All right.